Hi, yo. It's me, Nicole Phoenix Star, and this is a Nick Star podcast. I wanted to talk today about the inquiry question of, is your body lying to you? And it comes from a lot of work that we do with mind identification. So when you're studying non-duality, and specifically for me at the moment, the awakened realization state, which is staying in that state of when you feel like plugged in, there's no thoughts being thrown up, you kind of feel like you're in automatic, just kind of doing, feels a bit like super flow state, being the regular operating system. And so we look at and practice a lot of mind identification. And in that, there's deeper, subtle practices, because quite often we will feel a sensation in our body that may feel like a hard no or a hell yes. But in fact, it's actually the body responding to conditioning and trauma and ultimately mind identification. And so, there's so many times in our life where we're like, I was trying to work out what to do, but, I could feel it in my gut that it was a no. So I listened to my gut, or, my intuition told me it was a no. And really, it's not true. Your body's lying to you because it's coming from embodied trauma. And so the practice to work this out is to ask some quality questions, rather than taking that ultimate fear-based body reaction as truth, to ask some quality questions like, is this true? And then furthermore, is this coming through the filters of my trauma? Is this coming through my conditioning, through the perception of, society's projection? And then start asking questions of what if? And really give the fear the time of day, to really give it your presence, to give the fear the space to be able to soften in a way that you can pull those layers off and get down to the absolute truth. What if I did do it? What would happen? Quite often by asking that simple question, you're like, well, I won't die. Yeah, well, what if I did do it? What if I just sat with the fear and played what if? Because what if it worked out okay? And just in sitting with it and being intimate with the fear, the absolute truth arises in deepest clarity without question. And you'll get an absolute truth no or an absolute truth yes. without questioning it, without wondering. And so, if you're not running from pure survival mode, it's worth getting into the habit of, rather than just taking the body's reactions as gospel. Because if you really stop for a moment, it's not clear. It's just the fear trying to invite you into a deeper awareness of the self. It's like, I'm showing up as an invitation for you to go deeper into this perceived fear you're having right now. Let's unpack this. Because most of the time, it's laced with conditioning, trauma, story, external factors, and it's just a big murky mess. And so we just stop there. And then we find that it keeps happening over and over and over again, because the fear is actually trying to get you to go into a deeper, more intimate space. It's not trying to protect you. You just think it's a form of protection because we label as that. But it's actually an invitation to go deeper and to really cultivate an intimate relationship with your thoughts, so that you get to a point where you can see that all thought is simply that, thought. And once the thought drops, you're in that awakened realization state where you feel like something is moving through you. Spirit's moving through you. Consciousness is moving through you. You're in the God zone, whatever language you want to use. And that is a space of freedom, because you're not in mind identification, because all thoughts are coated in conditioning, trauma, story, external validation, external perception, all of these things. And taking the time to sit with them and to peel off all of those things debunks the whole story. And eventually, your body stops throwing up fear as a bodily response that you believe to be the truth, because your mind is just way too noisy, so my body must be telling the truth. It's still another layer of running from fear or illusion, because the hell yes could be illusion too. It's not just for the no, because quite often you've got a hell yes and then it'll just work out the same and land you in suffering. You're like, I don't know why they didn't work out. I got an absolute hell yes. It's like, because it was actually coming from the mind. So it's very, very sneaky. And it takes time, it takes practice. So my invitation for you today is start playing with this. Start asking some quality questions. Is this true? And what if? What if I did do that? What if I didn't do that? Like, what's really going to happen? And ask the questions as if you're asking, your best friend without attachment. Just see where it goes. Because every time you stop, it's because of a thought, a trauma response. But ask the quality questions as if you're asking your best friend, because you are. So just a little super quick short one today to invite you into deeper, more intimate parts of yourself so that you can walk a little bit closer to freedom and see how that goes. All right, that's all for me today. Thank you so much for listening. Feel free to share this with anyone that you may feel benefit or could listen. My website is www.nickstar.com, NIKSTARR. May your suffering lead to the awakened realization state.